I'm Abby McHugh-Griffa, Executive Director of the Climate Solutions Accelerator, with just a few words to close out this year. So I was just reading through the draft of our newsletter, and it was like, oh my goodness, we've done so much stuff. It kind of, in the thick of things, it just all becomes a blur, and you sort of forget about the accomplishments. So it really was great just for me personally to take a moment to be like, oh yeah, we did that. And that was a big deal. So I'm not gonna spoil the thunder of the newsletter. Teresa and Taryn did a lot of work putting that together, so I invite you to read that. But I did want to say, of course, thank you to all of the people who have been engaged and involved in some way during this past year to allow us to have the success that we have had. And then also, I just wanted to say a few words about what I'm looking forward to coming up in 2023. So, finally, we can publicly talk about the fact that we will be leading the Clean Energy Hub for the Finger Lakes region. This is a new NYSERDA program. We've been advocating for it since 2019, so it took quite a long time to get to this point where we are just beginning the work. And it is going to take a while. So this is a 4-year grant program. Ideally, we hope that it will extend for much longer than that initial 4 years, because it's going to take that long to transition our region fully to clean energy. And so right now we are in the stage of building the infrastructure of the hub. And that is going to be mostly kind of behind the scenes work. Honestly, you're not going to see much or hear much about it in the kind of public facing work we do, probably for a while. For the time being, it's just going to look like the Heat Smart campaign is still going. So I invite you to send people to the Heat Smart website, which is still up and running. People can still connect to Bree and Brett, our energy advisors. It will look like the program has not changed, but in fact, behind the scenes, we are working very hard to create a better system that gets people these services, access to these technologies in a much more efficient, streamlined way. So that is a big part of what 2023 holds for us, but it is not all. We are also going to be welcoming our Director of Policy and Advocacy to our team on January 1st. So very first day we're back in 2023, we will have a new staff member who I think is going to be quite wonderful. And this policy work is so critically important to the success of our transition to clean energy. So building this capacity to be able to do this better, to be able to support our volunteers who are engaged in policy advocacy is something that is really exciting for us. So again, look for that to be kind of built out and expanded on in 2023. And also our regenerative economy focused Climate Solutions Summit in April. Please save the date for Earth Day weekend. I have been digging in deep to a lot of writings and just these thought leaders who are thinking about the economy of the future and what that can or should look like and how we're going to get there. And that is going to be what we're going to be talking about in April at our summit. I think it's an incredibly exciting, inspiring topic, so I hope you will too. And we are going to have some educational opportunities even leading up to April, because I know, for myself, I'm not an economist. I don't really understand this stuff, or at least I didn't until fairly recently. And so educating ourselves as people who care about the environment and climate about the connections between our economic system and the natural systems on which our lives depend is critically important. And so look for that to be kind of a focus in 2023. And of course, I'd be remiss not to also mention that the collective impact work continues, implementing our regional climate action strategy, and your help with getting the word out about that and getting plugged into all the various different efforts that will be required to implement the mitigation measures in that strategy. It's going to take us more than a year, but that is definitely as well going to be a big part of what we're focusing on in 2023. So thank you again for your support, your partnership over this past year, and I am so excited to continue the work we're doing together in the new year. Take care.